You walk into a bank and put $1,000 into your savings account. The bank smiles, thanks you for your loyalty, and pays you almost nothing for it. And then, the second you walk out the door, it takes your $1,000 and quietly uses it to make itself a small fortune. You will never see it happen. It happens in the background on purpose, and it happens with the money of almost everyone you know. So today we're going to follow that $1,000. We're going to walk it through the bank and watch, step by step, exactly how they make money off you. And then at the end, I'm going to show you how to flip the entire thing around so the same machine starts working for you instead. Let's start with the uncomfortable truth that reframes everything. A bank is not a charity, and it's not really your friend. It's a business, a very good one, and here's the part that stings. In this relationship, you are not the customer being served. A lot of the time, you are the supplier and you are the product at the same time. Once you see the bank that way, everything it does suddenly makes perfect sense. So let's follow your money and count the ways. The first way is the big one, the engine that runs the whole bank. And it starts with a lie you were gently told as a child. Your money is not sitting in a vault with your name on it. The moment your $1,000 lands in that account, the bank lends almost all of it back out. It hands your money to a home buyer as part of a mortgage at 7%. It lends it to a car buyer at 9%. It lends it to someone carrying a credit card balance at 24%. And for the privilege of using your $1,000 to earn all of that, the bank pays you, what, 1% if you're lucky, and at a lot of big banks, closer to nothing at all. That gap between what they earn lending your money and the pittance they pay you to hold it has a name. It's called the spread. And it is the single biggest way banks make money on the planet. Sit with what that means. You are the bank's cheapest supplier of cash, and they have trained an entire society to hand that cash over for basically free, and then to feel grateful for the checking account. Run the numbers on it. They lend your $1,000 out and might earn $70 or $80 a year on it. They hand you back a dollar, maybe two. You did the saving. They kept the reward. That's the whole trick, and it is completely legal. The second way is the one you can actually feel because it stings when it hits. Fees. Overdraft fees, monthly maintenance fees, minimum balance fees, out-of-network ATM fees. Individually, they look small. Together, they are tens of billions of dollars a year, pulled straight out of ordinary people's accounts. And the worst of them, the overdraft fee, is not an accident. It is carefully engineered. For years, banks were caught reordering the transactions on your account, processing your biggest purchase first so your balance would hit zero faster and trigger more of those $35 penalties on everything that came after. Think about the design of that. The fee is aimed with precision at the exact moment you had the least money. That's not a service you failed to use correctly. That's a trap you were quietly walked into. Picture it. You're sitting at $30 in your account. 4 small purchases clear, and then one big one. Order them biggest first, and suddenly you've overdrafted 5 separate times instead of once. $35, 5 times over, for being $10 short. That's not a math error. That's the product. The third way is the cleverest, because the bank makes money whether you're careful or careless. It's your credit card, and it pays them twice. Every single time you swipe that card, the store you're buying from has to pay a small fee, usually 2 or 3% of the purchase, and a chunk of that flows straight to your bank. So even if you are a responsible person who pays your card off in full every month, the bank still earns money on everything you buy. That's the first dip. But the real jackpot, the second dip, is when you carry a balance. Because then they charge you 20, 22, 24% interest on top. So the bank earns when you spend, and it earns far more when you can't quite pay it back. Which means its most profitable customers are often the ones who can least afford to be. And those shiny travel points you're collecting? They're largely funded by those swipe fees and by everyone around you drowning in interest. The rewards are real. You're just usually not the one paying for them. Read that twice. The points aren't a gift from the bank. They're a cut of someone else's interest bill. And the fourth way is the quietest of all, the silent partner the bank never mentions. And it's already in the room. Inflation. While your $1,000 sits in that savings account earning next to nothing, inflation is quietly eating away at what it can actually buy, often around 2 or 3%, every single year. So your money isn't just failing to grow, it is actively going backwards. A year later, that $1,000 is still $1,000 on the screen, but it buys noticeably less than it did. The bank keeps the spread, inflation keeps its cut, and you, the person who actually owned the money, quietly keep the loss. And here's the thing the whole system depends on. The one bet the bank is making about you above all others. They are betting that you will not move it, that you'll leave that money sitting exactly where it is, earning them everything and you nothing for years out of pure inertia. And most people take that bet, not because they're foolish, but because no one ever showed them another option existed. So now, let's be fair, because it's easy to walk away from this furious. And anger is the wrong lesson. Banks are not cartoon villains twirling a mustache. This is simply their business model out in the open, and real banking genuinely gives you real things. Your money is safe. It's insured, so if the bank fails, the government backs your deposit. It's liquid, spendable in an instant from anywhere. The entire machinery of paying for things, the cards, the transfers, the direct deposit of your paycheck, all of it runs on this system, and that has real value. The problem was never that banks make money. The problem is that they make the most money off the people who are financially asleep. The ones who park far too much cash earning nothing, who pay fees they never needed to pay, who carry a balance they could have killed. This system quietly rewards attention, and it punishes inertia. So let's stop being punished. Here is how you flip the whole thing around, starting this week. First, and this is the big one, move your savings out of that near zero account and into a high yield savings account. These are ordinary, boring FDIC insured accounts, just like your regular one, except instead of paying you almost nothing, they often pay something in the ballpark of 4%. Same safety, sometimes hundreds of times the interest. That one move alone claws a huge piece of the spread back onto your side of the table, and it takes about 20 minutes to set up. Here's that gap in real terms. $10,000 in a typical big bank savings account might earn you a single dollar in a year. The same $10,000 in a high yield account can earn you around 400. Same money, same safety, 400 times the result for one afternoon of paperwork. Second, kill the fees. No fee checking accounts exist everywhere now. Turn on low balance alerts so you never overdraft again. Refuse to donate another dollar to a penalty designed to catch you at your worst. Third, if you use a credit card, pay it off in full, every single month, no exceptions. Do that, and you completely flip the card around. You keep all of those rewards funded by the swipe fees, and you pay the bank exactly zero in interest. You turn their most profitable weapon into a free tool that works for you. And fourth, keep only the money you actually spend in your checking account and put the rest to work in that high yield account or invested, where it can finally grow faster than inflation instead of rotting behind it. None of this is about hating your bank. Keep your bank. Use it. It's a tool. The point is simply to stop being the sleepy supplier they're counting on and to start being the wide awake one who makes the machine run in both directions. And to be clear, I'm not a financial advisor. Interest rates move around, and the exact numbers will shift over time. But the shape of it never changes. So the next time your bank sends you a cheerful little email thanking you for your loyalty, I want you to remember what loyalty actually means to them. It means your money, sitting perfectly still, earning them everything, and you nothing. So ask that question of every dollar you own. Is this working for me, or is it working for them? Tell me in the comments, what is your bank actually paying you on your savings right now, and had you ever been told about high yield accounts, or did you have to stumble onto it? And if this changed the way you look at that friendly little savings account, subscribe. Because every week we pull back the curtain on the money machines that everyone lives inside and almost nobody bothers to explain.